Uh, Hello everybody. In this video we're going to continue with part 2 of our series on the forecasting system, and here's where we're going to do trading. Now trading, we're looking at the sales and the purchases as one whole unit. So we're going to do the actual sales invoices, plus we're going to do sales line items, okay, for the individual stock items, and then the same for purchases and the purchases line items. So we're going to be forecasting all of that in one simple system. Okay, so let's go back now. I'm going to click here and go back to our forecasting system, go back to forecasting, and come back now to trading. Now here at the top of the menu we have our trading Zap. It's a mini app that does this trading calculation. Okay, and then we've got sales and these different items that we're going to, that's what we're going to be forecasting, which is the engine room. It's the sales and purchases. It's the engine room of what you're actually doing in your business. Okay, so now we're going to go into here, right click on there, and we've got this item here, and now let's click here and go to our parameters. So this is our little bit of parameters. They're quite tiny. I'm going to put in here the turnover that I want. So I could take last year's turnover and multiply it by a factor of 1.06, for example, get a 6% growth rate. I'll just plug in the number here. I'm going to drop him to 25 million, okay, just so we can see something different. So now I've got my 25 million. I've got 500 invoices. Now, one of the things I want to explain is that we don't need to have 10,000 invoices. Okay, we can collapse it down to 500 invoices, or a number like that, 1,000 invoices if you like, but we can collapse it right down so that we don't have so much bulk to deal with in the forecast. Okay, we could handle it, but it just makes it a bit stodgy. So what we actually want is to pull this down, and it has no effect whether you have 5 invoices a day or 50 invoices a day. It doesn't actually matter from the point of view of the forecast. It's going to get the same information is going to come through. So we'll see how that comes out now. Then we have a turnover range, 70% to 30%. We like to get a kind of a little bit of a fluctuation, and then the number of product lines, anything between 1 and 9 will be the number of line items per invoice. And then we have the multiplier tells us when to reorder our stock, and then the opening date goes in there depending on what your year end. Put in the opening date because we're going to forecast dates for every single one of our invoice items, and we need to have that to actually handle it. So that's all there is to it. That's all my parameters. And then just gradient. I've got to if you have growing sales, so you're not linear. If he's north, then this will just be linear. But if you have growth in your sales, you put in a number, and you can think of it like a seesaw. It's 20% down at the beginning and 20% up at the end. So you can see what that kind of gradient would look like, and that's how we actually do the calculation. And that's all I have to fill out. I just have to complete that, and then we're good to go. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press my F10 key here. Okay, and that has done the whole thing. It takes 1 second to do that entire forecast. Now let's go and have a look at what we've actually got here. I can click on my sales. You can look at these. This is just how we build it up. But let's go straight to invoices. Here's my invoices. Okay, and I've got 24,727. It never comes out exactly because we recalibrate it in terms of the actual prices, the cost price or the sales price times the number of units, and then we work that out. So there will be a variation from whatever you ordered originally, and then we can go down to the product, and this is my product item. So for 500 invoices, I've got 2,500 product lines. If I add up all the product lines of all the invoices, okay, still comes to the same number. And then here I've got my cost of sales. I can see there's my average margin, 34.95%. Okay, and then the same on my purchases, and get my purchases invoices, 19,990,80, and then I can come back to here, purchases, and I go back to product. It's the same number, and I can see these quantities coming through. So I've got all of that. Now what I have to do is I have to save this into the Phoebe database, which takes about 6 seconds. Okay, let's just press the F7 key, and now we're actually running. You can see it running down here. Okay, here's we're saving away the product, and it'll come up here. Okay, 10 seconds, a little bit cold today. Okay, right. So he's done that. Okay, now we've got him, and now we can come back to here, and now we're back into our Phoebe system. Now what we've done is given you all these views. These views are available in other parts of the menu system, but I'm going to look here now. There's my sales, and there's my 24,727. Okay, they're coming through now. Here I've got my VAT and my calculation, and I've got all these different things. I can look at debtors. Okay, I can look at it by period. Okay, and I can see all these different items, and then now this is sales product, so I can see the actual product coming through. There's the same 24,000, and I can drill down on these items. I can go by stock category, for example, and I can see those items. Now I can come down. Now the margin, we've kept that as a separate item so that you can exclude certain people from seeing the margin. Sometimes that's sensitive information, but here I can see what my different margins are per product, okay, and I've got that information available. Then I've got my purchases, okay, coming through there, and then my purchases product, same thing we've got here, 190882. Now what I want to do is come back to here, okay, come back up here, come back up here. Now I'm going to run F10. F10 is our processing key for processing the account, so I can go F10, okay. Okay, and now I can do is come back to output, financial report, statements, income statement, and now I can see there's the 24747 and that's 16086. That's what my actual accounts actually come out at, and I can see exactly how that actually is working. Okay, if I come back to my journal interrogation, go to my journals, okay, I can come back to here and I can see there's my cash flow and there's my income before tax. So I can see the items coming through here, okay, and that they all work out. If I come back to my income before tax, I can see my 24727. This is what's so nice about the way the Ark system works. You've got an actual journal that represents the total sales for the year, and then same with that's my cost of sales, 16 million, and my purchases are over here on the balance sheet here. I can see my purchases, okay, 19 million, okay, so I can actually run those items there. So that's how we've done that, and in that way we've created an item that gives me my total control. Let's just go and look at my inventory. I want to go and look at inventory. Okay, let's go back to trading. Let's go back to my inventory here and inventory account. And here we can see these items. I start off with 6.1 million, I added on 19 million, cost of sales with that, so my stock has risen to 9094. And you can see that it's very nice. We've got this layout going through here. We can see exactly what the items are on my perpetual inventory. And all of this is done in the real time while you've been watching, okay, and we can actually see this whole thing. And that concludes this is the engine room. We've now generated our gross margin. That's what we're going to run to run the whole business. Next, we'll go on to some other items of other transactions. Thank you.